Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hello there, Motorheads. This show is for you. This is Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. And if you like diesels, well, this show is for you as well. If you want to get a little bit of performance or a lot of performance out of your diesel, we've got the one-stop shop for you. It's Blessed Performance. Matt, you brought your assistant Keith, so we know it's a family-run business. So if I've got a truck and I've had it for a while, or if I buy a new truck and I want to hop it up, what do I need to tell you to get some help?
Well, the first question I'm going to ask you is what you use your truck for daily. Do you tow it? Did you buy it to race? Did you buy it to go to the track? Or just daily drive around town? And then from there, you're going to give me that information and we can go from there to work on what we're going to do for the build.
Where does your experience come from? How do you know what's going to make my truck do what you want it to do?
20 years of trial and error. That's really what it is. Just lots of playing with trucks, my own personal trucks, trying a whole bunch of combinations out to figure out what works for tow rigs, what works for a race truck. We've just been blessed to have a lot of opportunity to play with them and have a good time with it.
How important is it for you to have the customer walk away with what they're looking for?
That's the #1 goal. I want them to walk away. I want them to tell all their friends, their family. You got to go talk to Matt at Blessed Performance, Chase at Blessed Performance, any one of our team members at Blessed Performance, Keith soon enough, about what to do for your diesel truck, so that way you can have some fun with it, make it reliable, plus make it a race truck if that's what your goal is.
You obviously have recommendations when folks come to you with their needs. How important is it for you to give them choices on everything that they're going to do to the truck?
I like to give them a few options, so that way they know what the difference is between VGT, non-VGT, what this size injector or that size injector is going to do, what the aluminum versus the cast iron heads are going to do, what a stage 1 versus stage 2 cam is going to do, and their engine to make it perform a certain way, so that way they can know where they're headed with their truck. If they have optimum goals of going to a street race truck at some point, but they want it to tow right now, then we can set up the internals of the engine ready to do that, so that way when they swap injectors and turbo, the inside of it's going to hold up for it.
What level of expertise do you get? Folks calling, are they brand new into the diesel world? Are you getting experts?
I mean, we deal with a lot of brand news, but I mean, we get a full range of it. We've got guys that have called up and said they know exactly what they want. I mean, that's kind of easy to work with, obviously, but I enjoy the educating part of it. I tell people all the time that ask me, because I'll spend hours talking to people, and one of the funnest things for me is to show them and educate them on what they're going to find when they do these. We focus on 4 different power levels, basically, for like that truck right there, the 6Ls. And I get to talk to them about what that's going to do. We focus on a few different turbos for the 6-7 Power Strokes, and I get to talk about what each one's going to do. And they leave saying they've got so much education, and that's awesome for me, because that's fun to me. And that's kind of what my goal is, to educate them, so then they can know what they want to do.
Well, let's talk about what you brought here. You talked about the turbos. Tell me what's going on there.
So this is a KC Stage 1 Whistler turbo. It's a little bit bigger than stock. This is a turbo that's going to tow amazingly. Plus, what's really cool about this, the Whistler concept. A lot of guys that own 6.7s now in the past have owned 6.0s, and one of the most popular things about a 6.0 Power Stroke is that 6.0 scream, the whistle that they create. Well, Toys over at KC came up with this turbo, and they put a 10-blade in here to make it whistle just like a 6.0 is the concept behind it. It's really popular, just released. It's a really good concept, and it's a great towing turbo. Where we live at 4,000 elevation. We tow up to 12,000 elevation. This is going to pull amazing. I've got this on a truck in my area, and he pulls 30,000 pounds up to that 12,000, and he says he never goes over 1,100 degree GTs. It's a pulling machine, so that's what the goal is. This turbo right here is going to pair amazing with this pusher piping kit built here in America to drop your EGTs 200 degrees on the 6.7 Power Stroke. And
that's on the 6.7. You brought some goodies here for the 6.0 we see behind us as well. And is this the turbocharger that's on that?
What's on this truck right behind us? It's a SoCal Billet T4 kit. It pairs great with stock to wild race trucks. This right here is a Stage 2 cam. This is our most popular camshaft. This is going to work great in your daily drivers, for your tow rigs, to your all-out race trucks. Right over here we got 2 different heads. We have a cast stock plus head, they're O-ringed, and then we have an aluminum all-out race head right here. That's what we're going to talk about when you call us to decide which one's going to work best for you. This VGT turbo, a non-VGT turbo, what size injectors, what size rods, what kind of heads you're going to use.
Well, Matt and Keith, thank you guys for coming in. And Chase is also here from Blessed Performance. You've benefited from a lot of these Go Fast parts. Tell me what you put on your 6.0 here.
So here we have a 2006 6.0. It has a S400 kit from SoCal Billet with a Charlie Fish built 472 1.0 turbocharger with the SoCal Billet intercooler piping. We have that turbocharger paired with a set of 285-100 Holder premium injectors as well.
All right, now you're talking all the technical stuff, but what I really want to know is what kind of horsepower upgrade are we talking about from the stock vehicle?
So for the 2020 season, we were making around 714 horse at just shy of 1,300 foot-pounds of torque.
That's up from 300-something stock.
Yeah, 325 stock. This year, we actually changed it up with going with the 285s in the 472. So I'm trying to achieve mid-8s to start, but by the end of the season, I'm hoping to be 900 horse on fuel with Snow Performance's water meth kit. I'm hoping to achieve mid-9s.
So you're drag racing this, but also taking it to hit the mud.
Yeah, so 2020, we basically only drag raced it a few times on the street, but it was all focused on drag racing. This year, we're hoping to be able to take it to a couple truck pulls that we have locally, and just to help the eastern side of the country with Bless Performance. Get it out there at the truck pulls as well, not just the tracks.
Quickly, what do you love about the way Bless Performance does business?
Straightforward, it's family owned. It doesn't matter if you're a customer, you're Keith's son, you're treated the same way as if you were a family member. It doesn't matter if it's 1 a.m. or 1 in the afternoon. Matt will be there to help you out. I'll be there to help you out. It doesn't matter if you're broken down or, hey, what injector should I pair with this turbo I got? I mean, we're there to help.
That's great. You can get great diesel performance and amazing personal touch. Check them out at blessedperformance.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings in just a minute.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Aegis, best damn seat covers. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. And by Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. You know, here among the crew, we were talking about maybe if we had a couple $1,000, how would we get the most bang for our buck with a Mustang like this? Check it out. It's a 2018, pretty cool stock. Take a look at it before. And now take a look at it after. We found our friends at RTR Vehicles, and the RTR treatment really looks amazing here. Vaughn, you're the genius behind all of this. We'll get back to the Mustang, but tell me about the history of RTR Vehicles.
Yeah, for me, I got involved in Mustangs in 2005 with the, when Ford revamped the S197 Mustang. Really fell in love with it, but there was something that was lacking for me with respect to styling and personalizing and making it mine. I felt like what was available was maybe a little too old school. So I created my vision of a new generation of Mustang, launched it about 10 years ago, and here we are. A great relationship with Ford. We've got F-150s, Rangers, and Mustangs available at Ford dealers all over the world, and we're just continuing to evolve our product offerings.
Well, let's talk about that relationship with Ford. How does that give you an advantage over some of the other products that are out there, some of the other aftermarket stuff?
I've been racing and driving for Ford for 13 years now, and that relationship has evolved, and now obviously being a strategic partner with Ford and RTR being a strategic partner, we obviously have access to the engineers, we have access to CAD data, all the things that we need to do the quality work. One thing that I think sets us apart is everything that we do at RTR is designed and engineered and validated, and so what we're going for is ease of installation, using proper materials. We consider ourselves OEM plus. We want to do what Ford would do in this case. So we're using all proper materials. Everything matches fit and finish. There's no cutting, there's no splicing of wires. Everything plugs into the harness, everything bolts right on, where people can do it, at the dealership or in their driveway.
And let's talk about that. This is the Facelift Bundle. And so it's chiefly for looks, gives you a little bit of performance, right?
Yeah, what we wanted to do, we have complete turnkey vehicles from mild to wild in Ford dealerships. And we wanted to create a simple, do-it-yourself package. We called it the Facelift Bundle because it really does change the look of your Mustang. It's under $2,000. It's got our upper grille with our signature integrated lighting. It's got our lowering springs, which gives some great performance and enhance that stance. And it's got our best-selling wheels, our RTR Tech 7s. These are wrapped in NHOU NT555 G2s, but you can obviously reuse your own tires depending upon your budget.
And you talked about the ease of installation, ease of use. This was installed here in our studio. The first step, remove the under tray. You lower the car back down. Now, you don't have to do it on a lift. This is something, if you have a lift, it's convenient.
Lifts are nice.
Lifts are very nice.
But we recommend, jack stands, but you can do it on the ground. We have done it on the ground. It can be done.
That's great. And there's one special tool you'll need. It's a 5.5 millimeter socket. So if you don't have one, you got to run out and get that. But otherwise, it's standard tools you have in your toolbox already. Removing the bumper and grill, that all goes as one piece.
Yep.
And then it was time for the grill and the grill lights to go in.
Yeah, the grill lighting for us is something, when one of our vehicles pull behind you, it's RTR. There's an RTR grill. We wanted that signature part, and so we debuted that on the 2015s. It's become one of our best-selling parts. Very high quality. The grill's made out of TPO. It features our pill pattern that we put on all of our grills, something unique, and of course the lighting just pops. They're running whenever the car's running and moving, and in my opinion, just look incredible.
And back to our theme of ease of use and ease of installation. The lights, any special wiring involved there?
No, yeah, it's got a harness. It plugs right in between the factory harness. There's absolutely no splicing, no nothing. Plug and play, good to go.
It's going to fit.
Yep.
And onto the suspension then. What did you guys do with the suspension on this car?
So with the facelift package, you get just lowering springs. We actually have a complete tactical performance system, which is dampers, springs, and bars, but our springs were designed to work with the factory dampers, so you can use just the springs. We engineer our springs to give a great ride quality, enhance the stance, and give some good performance.
And let's talk about installation there. What kind of a job is that for somebody in their driveway?
Yeah, it's just an R&R. You need spring compressors, which you can usually go to any auto parts store and rent or borrow for the day. And other than that, it's very simple. Pull the strut off, use a spring compressor, undo the spring, put the new spring on, and then the rear, you actually want to lower the subframe, so you will need jack stands for that. You want to lower one side of the subframe. You can yank on the lower control arm. Make sure you make clearance or move all the brake parts so you don't stretch the lines. You can yank on the rear arm, pull the spring out, put the new spring in, tighten up that side of the subframe, and then do the other side. It's the easiest, fastest route that we found, but you can always look at the factory service manual or online for other suggestions.
I've seen the instructions for all of your parts, and everything's pretty plain.
Yeah, Donovan from our team does an incredible job writing all the instructions. He's very thorough, very detailed. I'm not the best at following instructions, but if you are, you'll have no problem.
Well, for under $2,000, you can get a little bit of performance and a lot of great looks. Check them out at rtrvehicles.com. We will return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Thanks for coming along for the ride here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. We got a really sweet looking Ford F-150 in the house here. Wheels given to us from DV8 Designs, and this thing is lowered. Usually when you lower a vehicle, though, you're giving up performance. But that's not the case thanks to VA Specialties. On this F-150, you've really made it a screamer. Tell me what you do to solve the performance problem when you're slamming a truck like that.
So we've come up with our 3.5 performance kit, and what that is it lowers the front of the truck 3 inches, lowers the rear 5 inches, and it comes with our coilover kit, which features Viking double adjustable front coilovers and smooth body rear shocks. These are our coilover mounts, and this is our bolt-on relocation kit. And what this does is it moves the top of the shock mount forward and gives it a better working angle during operation.
And we should be clear, you're doing this for folks that want the performance. The looks are kind of the secondary thing there.
Correct.
Very good. So it's working from the front now. And what else do we have that comes with this kit?
All right, so the 3.5 kit comes with the flip kit. It'll come with U-bolts, the hardware for the U-bolts, and this is our traction bar kit here.
Tell me a little more about the traction bars.
So our traction bars are completely bolt-on. You don't have to remove the leaf springs for these to get installed. And the primary reason for the traction bars is to remove any kind of wheel hop or axle rat.
Now, these control arms are great looking pieces too. Tell me what you've done there.
So we built these things to take out any negative camber on the front end. A lot of kits out there will have you cut or drill, modify the lower control arm out, and our kits are built and designed to not have to cut into a new vehicle, and you can put these on and get your correct alignment.
How much experience do you have in this, and tell me about your R&D process?
So everything is built in-house. This started as a hobby maybe about 12 years ago. And we do everything in-house, powder coating, all the machine work, the cutting of the material, and the boxing, everything, start to finish.
So everything you need. Is this something you can do in the driveway or in the garage at home?
Yep. So all of our guys are usually the DIY guys, and this stuff can be put on at home with simple tools.
Excellent. How important was it for you to make all this plug and play and make it something that you can do in the driveway, in the garage?
It was really important. Our intention for this kit was, for just the everyday guy to be able to get it and put it on. And with simple tools, you can get it installed, and it's a really easy process. It takes us maybe about 5 hours to put on with the lift, but without a lift, you can probably put it on about 6 to 7 hours.
It's a one-day project or a weekend project. Who are your chief customers out there? Who's buying your stuff?
So our primary customers are the guys that are buying the new F-150s from 15 and now to the 21s that are going either supercharged or twin turbo.
who you're finding wants a kit like this?
Most of the customers are performance oriented. Want to be out there at the drag strip, want to be able to put the power down to the ground.
That's an important question. Where's all of your stuff made?
All these parts are built in-house in Spring, Texas, USA.
And the guy who handles all these parts before they leave the house, Celestino, tell me how important quality is before you send all these out to the buyer.
Okay, so first, once they're welded, we go ahead and check out all the welds, make sure there's no pinholes, there's no cracks, and then we go off to sandblasting them and then powder coating them as well.
Now, how important is quality when it comes to the parts you're turning out?
We want to make sure that we make a good product and it's safe.
Well, it's all about quality, performance, and safety. Check them out at fastfab.com. We will return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Absolute Custom Cycles, specializing in OEM and aftermarket parts and accessories for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. RTR Vehicles, for car and truck owners who want a little more. And by VAS Suspension and Fabrication. Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
You have no doubt heard about the Magic Creeper here on Motorhead Garage, and we tell you about it because it is one of the coolest tools you can have, one of the most useful things, something that when you really need it, you're going to be glad you got it. Now, this is the Magic Creeper. This is one we've been using for such a long, long time. It still looks great, almost looks brand new because the Magic Creeper cleans up really easily. It's also really durable. It can roll over tools, rocks, all kinds of terrain, take a beating. We've tried to stab it and poke it and cut it, and it just holds up to all that abuse. The Magic Creeper will last you for a lifetime. And if you go to their website, magiccreeper.com, that's the only place you can get the original. You can also find their Roadside Emergency Kit. Now, in that kit, it comes in this bag here. It's just a little bigger than the Creeper because it comes with a Magic Creeper inside. In addition to that, I always like to use this example. Let's say you're headed to work, you don't want to get your clothes dirty. Guess what? It's going to come with a pair of gloves and an emergency poncho in case it's raining so you can keep yourself dry. Then, once you roll the Magic Creeper out to change your tire or roll it underneath the car, the Magic Creeper gets dirty and you do not. So your clothes are going to stay clean, and thanks to the poncho, you're going to stay dry out there. A few extra goodies here in the Roadside Emergency Kit. We've got a basic tool kit here. It comes in this little pouch. It's got a screwdriver, an adjustable wrench, and a multi-tool. You can use the pliers or the knife on there, whatever you need it for. Those all come in handy. If you find something hanging loose and you need to tie it up, that's why it comes with zip ties. And if it's a little bigger something, maybe your muffler's dragging or something, got some bungee cords here, and that'll get you back into shape so you can get back on the road. Of course, you need to see what you're doing. If it's nighttime, the Magic Creeper kit comes with a flashlight, and if you're like me, the batteries in that are probably dead by the time you get to use it. So it comes with this flashlight with a nice dynamo, and you can power it up yourself with a little generator in there, and you will never be out of light with the Magic Creeper kit. Also, to be safe by the side of the road, you have this reflector that'll alert other cars that you are there and you are in trouble. Get one for yourself and get one for someone you care about. It's the Magic Creeper. You can find it at magiccreeper.com. Brian Hansen is the lead engineer at Tribotex, and he gets a lot of emails. I got a chance to look through them, Brian, and I picked out some of the most popular emails you get. And the first one is a question that I ask anytime I'm going to put anything near my vehicle. Is it safe for my vehicle?
It's safe for all vehicles. Doesn't matter if you have a performance car, an off-roader, or a daily driver, this thing is safe in any engine. Took us many years to develop it and make sure that it will be safe in any engine now and in the future.
Even my old classic car?
Your old classic car is going to love it. They removed lead from the fuel. That was a good lubricant. We've used zincs and such. This nanoparticle is superior to that technology, and it's a non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about its environmental impact.
I know a lot of new cars, oil weights have changed a lot. It used to be just throw whatever oil you want in the car, and now new cars are so particular about what they need. So does it work with the brand new cars as well?
Yes. One of the best things about Tribotex is that it is a small amount of particles that are a lot of particles in a very small tube. So we do not change the behavior of your oil. It doesn't matter if you use Tribotex with synthetic or conventional oils. We do not manipulate the oil. We just use it as a carrier for our nanoparticles.
And another question that gets asked a lot, how long does Tribotex last? One dose, I guess, you put in your car.
Tribotex is terrible for us, but great for the people because it ends up lasting in your engine for over 40,000 miles. We recommend it maybe once every year, but really you can go a couple years without needing another application.
How do I know this isn't some snake oil I'm going to put in my car? What is going to indicate to me right away that it's working?
A lot of people in about 15 minutes of running will notice that their engine will get smoother, quieter, and in time you will see a performance increase because of the combustion efficiencies are going to up a little. So we're going to see better efficiencies inside the cylinder walls. You're going to have less friction. You're going to hear less lifter noise. You're going to have easier starts in the winter. There's lots of benefits that come from this tiny little tube.
And what are some of the benefits I'm going to see long term?
Long term, your car's not going to die. It's going to keep going. If you accidentally run out of oil, we do not recommend that. But in some cases, we've had customers come to tell us that they have survived and made it to a shop without oil.
Well, the science is there. They prove it on their website. You can check them out there. It's tribotex.com. It's great for any vehicle, so go and check it out and see what it can do for you. Well, that music means we are out of time, but do not fear. We'll come back next week to bring you more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. In the meantime, look us up on Facebook. You can become our friend and see what we're up to. And if you have a product you'd like to see on the show, email Jeff@masterstv.com. From the best crew in television, we'll see you next week. So long.